A ruinous scent wafts along, pushed by the wind, bearing melody and shivers. Sap ripens inside flowers and fruits. Pink lines of the palm, fine granules of the leaf. The star blazing light, or the one that is no longer a star, in all stages of the pulsar, colors wake up. Black and pink chiefly, somewhere green, a tad brown, a bit scarlet, some blue inside, floating in gently. The scent travels far away, captured in easel and brush, trapped in the kernel of fruits, the ruinous scent of a dark, enormous rice. The horse head. There goes the horse head, spitting fire, hot yellow flames raging in the wind, sizzling letters of the alphabet coming down in shreds on the green velvet grass. Letters broken, bruised, unworkable, smoke spiraling, rising above, cooling gradually, exposed, heaped, frigid. There goes the speeding horse head, tender mutha grass, grassland, green and sprawling, terrifying barf of yellow, rushing to the wetlands, slurping water. The word shelter, all falling apart. The word thirst, jetting from the ruins. Hereafter, none would say think ever again. Would anyone ask himself again to think? There comes the horse head, spitting fire. Tragedy. A tragedy I see has filled the plate up, cold, rectangular, blue to dots, and its golden juice spilling over the table. Each table with its 4 legs and 3 chairs, white linen and thin striped grey gabardine, hot water bag and handkerchief, and fresh crisp brown shoes, would gradually be drenched in the golden juice. A plate would be left over, blue. Today, each table dishes this possibility. He woke me up. Today he woke me up in the morning and showed me the teacups, water turning into steam, the silk cotton trees showering their ethereal charm on the seat of a beggar girl. Seat, you revealed this word to me and introduced me to the babbling stream. Called me out from beyond, stopped your boat to let me board. Gave me love and intimacy, gave me a drink of sugarcane juice. The girl named Bonani, the trees named Deodar. And I travelled far to the source of water, following the trail, got lost in the woods, suffered from spring fever, saw the sharp daggers of violence. I have seen them in the evening, at midnight, afternoon, dawn, dead birds, withered flowers, shattered hopes, so many. Color of poetry. I fix my gaze, unblinking, and as I observe the painting, I observe none other but you. Add a little oil and see the colors soften. A short stroke helps, and the color in poetry melts. Color changes, color changes, color. I put aside the script and focus only on you. A little indifferent you are, graceful, metered, and erotic. Glance not so alluring. Yet you talk to me endlessly, in silence. Wear your hair down, your coarse fingers, wet and cold like a pet lizard, ever so exciting. Make me hear the babbles of the stream flowing in your body, the stream of your blood and juice. Won't you ever touch me? Is there anything amiss in your body? Now I use the other end of the brush. Suddenly I am struck by a gust of wind. Perhaps some boatmen weighed the anchor. I rolled and rocked and saw you too rocking, new poetry, blurred and obscured, swinging, leaning in an eagerness to touch. Your hair is undone, your blouse is unbuttoned. Time and lonesome plain, lines, colors, words, seeds and hormones, stack of flesh, fear, water, rock, stream, shelter, salt, violence, cold dooms and their arches. Would travel far and return again to this time, to this lonesome plain. Hail this world and its ringing symphony, the waters, the stones, the curvatures, violence, arching wombs, seats of fear, flesh, hues. This is not the way to tell. All these words, the ripples, this is not the way to tell. Why the seed is touched, awakened by the fingers of heat. Seek the taste of salt in the eternal stream. In an omelette, yolk remains ever in peace with salt and pepper. Clouds grumble like novels in a special celebration issue. Beside an 18-story building stands the Jurassic Park. Tomorrow, fear, saline water, seething swords of thirst, fruits wrapped in blankets, engravings of a winter night in stone, arms of a palm leaf drowned in water, the spinning pottery wheel, and the engulfing swarm of wasps and hornets. Night, the cruel secrecy of stones. The poets are quietly expressing about it. A black and enormous sun would rise again. Wastewater, mixed with fear and salt, would inundate the entire garden. Wall and bed, wall made of ice, bed bestrewn with thorns, and the song I love you. Words are sloth, letters dizzy and frail, yet the tunes are swelling up like tents. The chairs drowsy and relentless. A leg is stretched out long from the bed. A few birds chirping inside the tent. The bronze wings, the cravings, and the eyes rolled. Defeat or a vulnerable antlered deer, wall or a sense of collapse, marriage proposal or walk with crutches, step by step, all the way to the icy wall, to the bed bestrewn with thorns. Querida respuesta, sal por favor. There are many ways to forget that perennial sound of the gong. Loud and vulgar, it goes on incessantly without our approval. Let it go on silently, allowing us to spread out our landscape and tourism, our yawns, postures, misgivings. We'll play on our own terms, plant kisses, ring up wrong numbers. We'll wind up a long straight line into a coil and release it abruptly so as to spring up with enormous energy. We'll mimic the sounds of thunderous clouds and whispers of the army of red ants that move under the tree roots within the forest. Choicest friends will amass to an abundant mind and play these sounds. We can even dive into the depth of a scratch on the surface of steel, since we aim to venture everywhere, wherever there are questions, because the questions are our prime mover. It might take us days and months and years in flesh and blood, in erotic squills, in death and birth, in forging new relationships, pursuing all the answers that we had sought. Oh, come out the answers from mother's womb, from printer's desk, from holy trees. Come out the answer sheets, swine, crooked, warmonger. Come out from the cryogenic fossils. Oh, answers, please.